What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. I got a little bit of a surprise in my inbox. This is the Bat Family trailer, which just dropped for Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights is coming October 11th, and we're getting lots of news, fast and furious. So let's go ahead and check this out.
There is no Gotham Knights without Batman Family.
All right.
The fans trust us to be true to the universe. They also want to be surprised.
No, we want you to be true to the universe.
Really, everything is new.
Behind the scenes of the Batman
family means different things to different people. We have chosen to explore the theme of found family within the context of Batman Family.
There's been a big fracture in the Batman family. They're at odds at each other, they're fighting, they're not a cohesive group. They've never had the chance to work together because they've all been working fairly independent with the exception of Robin. As you progress through the entire game, you're gonna see this gradually change.
Move. I'm gonna solve this case my way.
I think each knight embodies some of those traits just at different times. Nightwing can have the attitude sometimes, maybe Batgirl the other times, and even the tough guy, Red Hood. You know, he can be the more passionate one at times. But the one thing they all share is that drive to become the next knight.
They don't start in perfect harmony, they don't start with perfect balance because they're dealing with a lot of trauma and a big loss.
Stop it! You wanted us to work this together.
But throughout the game, they
Why does
come
Robin look
together,
like
and
such a
that's for a very
dork?
simple reason. They've chosen to care for each other, and they've chosen each other as a family.
Now you're talking.
We have character arcs for each of our knights with key cinematics that unlock from start to end of the game. Through these
cool.
arcs, we explore different things with each of our knights. One thing we delve into is how trauma can affect memory, how grief can linger, and isn't just resolved in a single moment, or even might not be about just a single loss.
When the fans found out that Batman was dead in our game, some of them were expecting to see him. Most of the fans saw the opportunity to experience the universe their own way with new heroes, new dynamics, and as a family.
We've known the Knights as superheroes with their masks, but what was it like to kind of see them behind the mask as humans?
When we look at the way each knight was designed, we took a cue from our comic book roots. You know, we did some pretty classic shape language design. For example, Red Hood, blocky, square, tank-like. Batgirl is more symmetrical and balanced.
Not really.
Robin, lower, lighter, stealthy.
I feel like they're
And
really
Nightwing,
trying hard with Red Hood
agile,
to make him into
angular,
something he's not.
sharp. By having that kind of shape language, it not only helps us develop the way the characters look, but it also goes on to support how the characters move in animation.
The team put a lot of effort in making every character really special, with emotional ways to react to situations. Every character has its own path.
We worked with Wilson and the cinematics team to make sure that we could showcase their progression, not just in the things they say, but also in what they do.
We wanted to create a custom experience for the player and for the viewer to kind of see that they're going to structurally have the same scene, but they're going to see that scene with their own flavor depending on who they play.
Clear out now. You'll regret it.
Having a very solid foundation with the performance of the actors was
really
critical
not
because we
much
got
you
that
can
nice
say,
base level.
you know,
Once we
like-
take that, we actually bring it with the animators to kind of fine-tune and really improve everything, bring those facial emotions, putting their take on it. And this is something that we really wanted to make sure that we got it right.
In the Belfry, we see the knights as humans, as young people talking to each other, having a life, wearing more contemporary, normal clothes. And that's a big contrast to how they look as knights.
Belfry Clock Tower is actually where the four of them establish their base of operations, which is essentially their version of the Batcave.
This place is quite remarkable. It's certainly brighter than the Batcave.
Alfred is literally the glue of the Batman family.
He is a confidant, someone they can rely on, and someone with whom grief is shared and understood.
I'll always be here when you need me, Master Richard. When any of you need me.
Previously, Alfred had to really manage Bruce by himself. Now fast forward to Gotham Knights, now he has four versions of Bruce that he has to manage.
He is steady and endlessly reliable, but he also will not put up with anyone's nonsense.
Alfred's fatherly. He's tough. He's caring, he's stoic. We took a pretty old school approach, iterating on sketches and sculpts until we found something that really resonated with us emotionally.
When you have
Yeah,
the
that
four
works
heroes
for
there
Alfred
together
for
with
me.
Alfred, kind of figuring out the space, we've actually managed to pack in, I think, almost 40 cinematics
That
in
was
a little
creepy.
space. But each tell a very different story and a very different perspective of how they live together as a group.
Every time Bruce came home, I patched him up. Just as I now do for you.
It was important that our players would be able to relate to these characters on a very basic human level, and that's what we wanted to showcase with our Belfry moments. Not just in the cinematics that happen there, but also in the environment and the ambient conversations, even in the props you find through the Belfry. There has been so much love put by our entire team in this game, so much effort and dedication. I really hope it shines through and it provides an amazing experience.
I think
I
it
really
will.
hope fans and players appreciate the
at that.
variety of looks they can have for their night. I hope they find one that
that's
resonates with
interesting.
them and it kind of becomes their favorite.
So that, I think, was part of probably the most interesting part. Was
Pre-order
seeing
now
how,
and get the
some of the
233
colorways
custom
work.
Batcycle skin.
View. All right. So I just want to go right back to the end here. And
Play variety.
right
And it's an amazing experience.
I really
here.
hope fans and players
So here you can see a yellow kind of suit for Nightwing, which is how they use the colorways. Up until this point, we've mostly just seen like blue in the suits for Nightwing, and that was kind of one of the questions I had, is whether or not you'd have like a red version of some of his suits. And that kind of answers that. It seems like you can do pretty much any color.
appreciate the variety.
You know, you got some red where there's black normally.
Of
So looks like
looks
you
they
can kind of
can have.
reverse some of that.
For their night.
This one right here stood out because he's got kind of green up here on the hood, where I think there's normally red. So it looks like you can kind of reverse.
I hope
the
they find
colors
one
around
that
a little bit.
resonates with them and it kind of becomes their favorite.
So that looks like it's got a little bit more black in it, and that's the one we were just kind of looking at. And there you go. So October 21st. I know there's not really much to react to. Like in something like this where there's so much dialogue, you kind of have to listen. Obviously, the Bat family is very important. So it'll definitely be very interesting to see, you know, how we utilize them in the more traditional environment where you know, they're interacting with each other. Because if you do think about it, they're right. You know, these folks don't usually live together. You know, Barbara Gordon obviously would live on her own or with her father. You know, Nightwing has pretty much advanced and on his own. There's usually only one Robin living with Bruce. Jason would have been long since gone. So, you know, it's very, very intriguing and interesting to see them living together and kind of becoming that Bat family. Because when we think about the Bat family, we think about that family, a team, a unit. But how did they get there? You know, it's through working with Batman and everything like that, but like they're not actually always together, like as you would expect the Avengers to be, or the Justice League or something like that. So very, very interesting. I can't wait for October 21st. It looks like it's going to be really fun, really awesome. Some of these like suits right here, like I wonder if you can fight in these suits. I doubt you can, because they have to have their masks and everything, but it's interesting that they even have a lot of kind of like loungewear and whatnot. So in any event, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed. I normally would have done this live, but I wasn't expecting this. I got the email with the video, and there you have it. We'll see it.